East, which is 2 games better than the 3-5 record they had at this time last year. Of course, the 2018 Cowboys team ended the season as hot as any team in football, going all the way to the NFC divisional round of the playoffs before losing to the Rams. And yes, we remember that one well. We're
sure
now joined by Fox Sports contributor Rob Parker.
What's happening? Good morning.
Hey, we got 2 of your favorite teams to talk about. We're going to start with the Cowboys.
Is
Rob.
it Christmas?
No, it's not Christmas, but we got to hear what you have to say. Are you more sold on this year's Dallas Cowboys than last year's team?
Skip Bayless, I'm not sold. In fact, I want a refund on the Cowboys because this Cowboy team is not the same team from a year ago, especially defensively. Last year at this point, they were 3rd best defensively in the league. They're 7th. Look at the penalties, much more. And then here, I'm a big guy on this. Shannon, it's who you beat. And who you beat matters. You can look at the wins and go, wow, they got all these wins. But come on. When you look at the teams that they've beaten, they haven't beaten anybody. And I think they've lost. And then they also, with the bad team that they faced and beaten, they've also lost to the Jets. And when they played the 2 best teams, the Packers and the Saints that they faced all year, what happened?
You just dismissed his Eagles, right?
What?
Yeah.
No,
they got one quality win.
Rob Parker says the Eagles are a bad team.
Oh, that was the one, and they were 5-4, and I'll give you that, even though they imploded to start the game. They gave the Cowboys 14 points.
Yes.
And Shannon, they never showed up. The game was over.
Those are called takeaways.
No, it wasn't.
Takeaways. Oh, okay.
So when you look at the way the Cowboys are constructed and what they've done, I'm not convinced that this team is the same team that a year ago got hot, turned it on, and was going the other way.
Fluky. Yep.
No, come on, Skip. They haven't beaten any. What's their signature win? Give me their signature win.
Philly.
That Eagles. So that was it.
Yeah.
And the other game they beat
Miami.
What was it?
Washington.
Miami,
Giants
Washington. They've gotten fat off of all of these also-rans and terrible teams. So if I'm the Cowboys, I'm concerned because every time they face up against a real team, a team that they'll have to, and those are the teams you face in the playoffs, or the Packers and the Saints. Those are the kind of teams, and yet they haven't fared well.
Yeah.
And that loss against the Jets is another telltale
It's unforgivable.
It is unforgivable.
Well, put it like this, Skip.
They should have won that game.
You know, they put the playoff ranking came out college football playoff ranking came out last night. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, if it was the NFL had a playoff ranking, Cowboy wouldn't be in it.
Well, they don't do just 14.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, what are you talking about? They're
right
leading their division.
So
you realize the division winner qualifies for the playoffs.
No.
But can they hold on to that?
No, they cannot. They're not making the playoffs.
If that college committee got the stats put in front of them that the Cowboys have put up, #1 in yards per game, #1 in yards per play, tied for
against
first.
2.
And then they're going to say, hold on,
Wait
they
a
beat
minute.
3 FCS teams, but they lost to 2 BCS teams. They're like, oh, no,
But
we can't do that.
don't in college, it's the strength of schedule.
Yes.
That would count. So this would disqualify them because their wins are all against. Sure, when Dak Prescott the first 3 games of the year, he had nothing but bums, and he ran up the score and had touchdowns and put up all these big numbers. Everybody was like, they should sign him now. Oh, my God. And then all of a sudden after that, he had those 3 terrible weeks because they played good teams.
Right. Skip, but no, I don't think they're any better. As a matter of fact, I feel even better now about my pick.
So you think they're worse than they were last year?
I think they're not going to make the playoffs. So what that means?
That means you're going to lose a whole bunch
No,
of
we're not. No, I'm not. Skip, look, we've seen them play 3 good teams. They won 1. They beat the Eagles. They lost to the Saints. They lost to the Packers. Now, here's some of the teams that they're going to possibly play if they were fortunate enough, which they're not. But if they were fortunate enough, something by hook or crook, they made it to the playoffs.
Okay.
New Orleans, San Francisco, Green Bay. Those are the teams. Seattle. Those are the teams that's going to be in the playoffs. Not the Jets. They lost to. Not Washington. Not Miami. And definitely not the Giants. So I'm trying to figure out who you think y'all go. Y'all ain't beat nobody. Who did y'all beat, Skip? I can make, let's see, Miami or Washington, give me 3 weeks of training, I think I can make the team. I can be the 53rd man on the roster.
But
at 51.
3 weeks?
3 weeks.
The combined record of the teams that they beat, 9-26. I mean, that's as bad as it gets. Only the Patriots have feasted more and gotten fatter.
Good.
Tell me when it's my
Yeah,
turn.
your turn.
Your turn.
Thank you very much. Rob Parker, I'm going to barely give you 1 point. I do not completely trust my defense because when I least expect it, my defense fails to show up for kickoff. It'll sort of kick back in the second half as my quarterback rallies them back furiously. But my defense inexplicably just doesn't show up. It really didn't show up at the Jets and against Green Bay where you're saying, what are you doing? Because Sam Darnold, I said before the draft, I don't like him. I wasn't sold before the draft. Others across from me, they liked him. A whole lot of people like Sam Darnold. I never did. So that was as shameful a loss as any team has suffered in the whole league this year was Cowboys at Jets. But my quarterback, who is the leader of the team, who is a gamer and a baller and a big game, big play playmaker, he rallied them back in the Jets game and came within a 2-point conversion on what should have been called pass interference.
No, that ball was uncatchable too, wasn't it?
No, it hit him right in the hand.
No, it
hit him right there.
Yeah, throw it behind him.
What's his name? The safety for them, the kid Marcus May.
Yeah.
He's all over him. He tackled him before the ball got there, knowing that on the last play of the game, they're just going to say, let him play.
Oh, they're going to let him play? Really?
And it's the 2-point conversion that would have sent it to overtime because he got them all the way back in that game. He got them back in the Aaron Rodgers game. They're down 31-3, and if the kicker makes a chip shot field goal, they're going to get an onside kick at 34-27. Pretty impressive.
Are you sure they want to get you onside?
Well, no, because it's virtually impossible. But at least you got him back to 34-27, just as he did once upon a time his rookie year against Aaron Rodgers in a playoff game in which they fell behind 21-3. The defense didn't show up.
Well, where's your offense?
Guess what the score got to? 31-all because of my quarterback.
Skip, if you keep saying the defense, but I just want to know, in the first 3 quarters, where was your offense against the Pack? The first 3 quarters against the Jets, where was your offense?
They could have matched the score.
And then what happened in the entirety of the Saints game? Where was your offense that got you 10 points?
Okay, I told you what happened. My quarterback threw a catchable ball to Amari Cooper that hit him right there, right here.
Skip,
right
that's
here.
The first play of the game.
Okay, but he muffs it into an interception that gets returned 55 yards.
But you told me,
and they go right in and score.
But you told me there's 4 quarters in the football game. So what happened the rest of the game?
My quarterback threw for 463 yards in that game against a defense that was not playing prevent. It was playing man.
Is it about yards or points?
Well,
because the Saints won a game without even scoring a touchdown against Dak Prescott.
And you know what, Skip? As I looked at it, I'm going back through my notes, and it says, when the score was in 1 score of the Packers game, Dak Prescott had 3 interceptions and no touchdowns. When the game was within 1 score. So in other words, he got them empty calories, Jenny.
2 of those interceptions clearly were not his fault.
They weren't his fault.
Oh, stop it. How can you? That's just bad luck when you're one of the best, a top 5 receiver has a ball right here and muffs it into an interception.
Top 5. But anyway, hold on.
The other one, Kevin King just tackled Gallup. Well, he did. You know it.
Well,
you even agreed that next day.
No,
yeah, that's
Yo got tackled Evan Ingram on Monday night.
He did not. He went right. Woozy went right over his back.
No, he went through it.
He didn't go through. He went over him.
He did.
He's about half of Evan Ingram's size.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Make a dent in his back.
I just want to know, Skip, why does your offense keep showing up small in big games?
Why is it ranked #1 by Pro Football Focus? I don't know.
Skip, so you should be more alarmed. You're #1 and you're 5-3.
Okay, so as much as I don't quite trust my defense, it's 5th in points allowed. 5th in points allowed.
Yes.
Is that good?
Yes.
I think that's pretty good.
You got top 5 offense too.
I saw my defense rise and shine. Another game in that same MetLife or MetDeath Stadium, whatever you want to call it.
It's called MetDeath.
That black cat. That black cat ruined it.
It was Black Cat Stadium. And at that point, Danny Dimes is driving to put them up 16-3 when the Black Cat makes his entrance.
And then what happened?
We happened.
We happened.
Yeah. 34-9 happened the rest of the way. But my defense, listen to what they had, 12, 1st and 10 at 13, 1st and 10 at the 11, and my defense held them to field goals every time. And they got Golden Tate, and they got Evan Ingram, and they got what you call the best running back in football, Saquon. Well, those are enough weapons that you should cash. But guess who rose and shone that night? Michael Bennett. I got another pass rusher, and he was wreaking havoc. And D-Law was just laying down the law.
Oh, he came to play the first half.
He came to play. For the first time all year, again, he came to play.
He had some flashes a couple of times.
Yeah, he did, but this was big time. And again, Robert Quinn can rush the passer, and my linebackers, again, they didn't even have Wolf Hunter the other night, but Sean Lee played his best game in 3 years.
Jalen Smith.
hey, all I know, my eye test is telling me this team is poised for takeoff. This team's got the Vikings, and it's a hard game, but they can win that game.
And they say you should do lace.
All the way I can see clearly for miles.
You got to update laces.
I can see clearly. I can see clearly all the way to Detroit. Because Detroit is next. You're lying.
Y'all catching the AL.
Yeah, and then it's all the way to.
Y'all got Minnesota this week, right?
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Oh, okay, yeah, then Detroit.
Okay, then I'm saying
He said
Detroit,
it 2 weeks ago.
and then they get to go play Rob's second favorite team, the New England Patriots, and Rob would say that's an easy dub, right?
That what?
It's the Patriots because they're finished.
Rob, who do we pick
Right?
in that game?
I know, that's like, can we take a mulligan? Can we, like, not pick?
Yeah.
That's like the
Okay.
worst day of all. We have to, like, decide.
Then Buffalo at home on Thanksgiving. My team does not lose at home on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they do.
They do not.
Yeah, they do. Cam, remember when Cam went in there and beat the brakes off him
Yeah,
and
well, that
knocked
was
Tony Romo out?
Well, because he went down again for like the third play of the game, and that was the end of that game.
San Diego beat him on Thanksgiving. Remember when San Diego
with
beat the
no
brakes off him?
Zeke and no Ty Smith. Remember that?
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
Vikings
come on.
are coming to town.
But they got
first.
that.